This video will guide you through the AccountingSuite data import tool for lists. To start working in AccountingSuite, you probably need to import your existing data like customers, vendors, items, and other data that is used in the documents. The data import tool helps to migrate data without much effort, reducing manual errors and saving time. Navigate to the Admin panel, Data Import tool. Choose a list to import. Let us take companies as an example. The import window opens, showing all of the columns available for this list. Required columns are listed above and marked in bold. They are necessary to record an entry, and they vary from list to list. Depending on your business needs, decide on the amount of data you want to import and edit the columns to import only those information that your business requires. To edit the imported columns, click Edit Template and choose the columns you would like to import. Again, required columns are marked in bold and cannot be unticked. For this example, let us import the tax registration number and VAT payer in addition to the required columns. Use the arrows to change the order of the columns. Now we see that the list contains only the ticked columns. The table may be filled in manually or by copying and pasting from the clipboard. By clicking on the column name, you will see a hint that provides information about the input data format. For the company, input format is the text, the name of the company. For the columns customer, vendor, and employee, the value is just yes or 1 and no or 0. Remember that in AccountingSuite, the companies list contains all of the business partners, both customers, vendors, and employees. A company can be both customer and vendor at the same time, and a person can be an employee and a vendor at the same time. At least one of these three columns should contain yes or 1. The terms column has to be filled in with the values from payment terms list. So first, we need to understand which values are actually available. To do so, we have to find and open the list first to see the available values. Apparently, this is not the most convenient option. To save time, there is an option to choose data from a drop-down list. By ticking the toggle above, all of the columns that are not text and that are links to an information source within a system get a drop-down option. To fill in the cell, double-click it and choose the data type. String is a technical term that means text, so you can always choose text even if the toggle is ticked, or choose the information source within the system to pick up the desired value. The payment terms list has opened and the value can be chosen here. VAT payer is just yes or 1 and no or 0, and tax registration number as text. Let us create another line item where a company is customer and a vendor at the same time. The advantage of using the drop-down is that you can always create a new value in case the desired one is not available yet. Let us create a new payment term for net 45 and choose it. Continue filling the table in. Copying and pasting from the clipboard is available here too. In this list, there are two equal names. Let's see what will happen to these line items by importing. If you prefer to use a template, then switch the mode to From File. Set the template to a computer under one of the offered formats. Fill it in, and then click Import the spreadsheet. Whatever option you choose, at this step, the table should be filled in. Please pay attention to the required columns. They have to be filled in for each line item. Let us deliberately remove a value in the required column and see what will happen. After clicking Next, there is a system message telling us that somewhere a required column has a value missing. The line items where the required field is empty will not be imported. Let's put the value back. Click Next. The following window shows all processed line items. If it is not the first time you are uploading a companies list, you might want to check if some of the line items already exist. To do so, select the company column for mapping. Now we see that one line item is already existing in the companies list and has been mapped. For mapped items, choose whether you would like to update the information or just skip them. For unmapped items, choose whether to add or skip them. As we're importing data to start working in AccountingSuite, we apparently choose Add. Click Import and see the result of the importing. The one skipped item was a mapped item, and it was skipped as we have chosen to skip the mapped items. The other skipped one is a duplicated value. You can save the skipped line items to revise them later and import them again. Now we see that the companies list contains the new items. Let us import another very demanded list, which is items list. Again, navigate to the admin panel, data import tool, items. The import window opens, showing all of the columns available for this list. Required columns are listed above and marked in bold. They are necessary to record an entry, and they vary from list to list. Depending on your business needs, decide on the amount of data you want to import and edit the columns. To edit the columns, click Edit Template and choose the columns you would like to import. Again, required columns are marked in bold and cannot be unticked. For this example, let's import the price and the VAT rate in addition to the required columns. Now we see that list contains only the ticked columns. By clicking on the column name, you will see a hint that provides information about the input data format. For the description, the input format is text. It is the name of the item. Type is either product or service. Costing method is a required field only for the products. In AccountingSuite, the available costing methods are first in, first out, and the weighted average. Account, sales, and cost of goods sold are general ledger accounts. Let us tick the toggle to enable drop-down option and to select the accounts from the chart of accounts. In this example, we use the default AccountingSuite chart of accounts with account number length of 6 digits. Use the search field to find the required account. Select the units of measure for the item. Price is a number field. Prices in the items list are in the default system currency. VAT rate is a percentage value. Let us create a new value and select it. Continue filling in the table manually or copying and pasting from the clipboard. For the general ledger accounts, you can specify only the number without the account name. If there is an external file with the information, you can copy and paste data from this file. Just pay attention to the order of the columns. Remember that for services, a costing method is not relevant and is not a required field. For one line item, let us leave a required field blank to see what will happen by importing this line item. Click Next. The cells with a red dot line on the bottom require your attention. For services, a costing method is not a required field. And the other line item is where we have intentionally left a required field blank to see what will happen. Let us check if any of the items already exist in the items list. Choose Description field for mapping. We see that 2 items already exist in the list and were mapped. Choose whether to update or skip the mapped items. Let us choose Update because let's imagine the prices have changed for these items and they have to be updated in the list. For the unmapped items, choose Add. Click Import and see the results of importing. 2 items have been updated. These are the mapped items for which we have chosen to update the information. 1 line item has been skipped. This is the line item where we have left the required field blank. To see the reason for skipping, click Skipped. All of the other items have been successfully created. You can save the skipped line items to revise them and import them later. For the line items that have been successfully imported, you can edit the attributes. Now we see that the items list contains the new items. This is how to use the data import tool for creating new items or for updating the information for the existing ones. After you have imported all of the lists, you can post the opening balances. Please refer to a separate video to learn more about it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.